Hi guys, Anna Voloshina is here, and this is my very first class for Truffle Shuffle. I'm very excited. We will start by doing some homework today because we're working with a yeasted dough, and yeasted dough needs some time to proof. That's why we're starting 2 hours before the class, and then we will leave our dough to proof, and by the time we're getting to our live event, you will have your dough ready, and then you will cook along with me. We'll start by heating the milk, and we will need 1 1/4 cup of milk, and we need to heat it just until it's pleasantly warm. Lukewarm is fine because this is the deal with yeast. They don't like heat. They like to be comfortable, and they need to relax in their warm bath and start working. I'm not even measuring the temperature precisely. I will just stick my finger in there, and if it feels okay and it's not too hot, not too cold, then it's perfect for the yeast. We'll wait for this guy to heat our milk, and then I will dissolve 3 1/4 teaspoons of sugar in that, just to give our yeast something to eat. When the top of this mixture will be frothy and bubbly, that means the mixture is activated and we can add our salt and AP flour. Now our mixture is nice and warm, and we can add our yeast and sugar. And we need to add 1 teaspoon of yeast. And this is just dry active yeast. Just like that. A little less than a teaspoon of sugar. If you will get a full teaspoon, no problem. Just like that. So we're just stirring it together, and that's it. We're leaving it for about 10 minutes, and you can cover the top with a kitchen towel, so it will be just nice and cover it so nothing else will go into that. Depending on the temperature of your room and other factors and the humidity, you will see less or more bubbles, but once you will see the yeast are bubbling and the top is frothy, we are good to go. So now we can add our salt, and I'm adding just a good pinch. It's about a little under of a teaspoon. So we're using the equal amount of sugar and salt, and then 1 tablespoon of sunflower oil. And it doesn't have to be sunflower oil, but this is something we use in Ukraine, and this is something they use in Georgia as well. I have 3 cups of flour pre-measured here, and I don't recommend you to add it in one try. So we're sifting and adding little by little, because sometimes it will take more flour, sometimes it takes less flour. The reason we're sifting our flour is just to make sure we don't have any lumps, any weird stuff. And I always recommend you to have a little more flour with you, just in case your dough needs more. And again, if it's all depends on the humidity of your room and the brand of the flour, so just be flexible. If it's 3 cups, know that it's approximately 3 cups. So you see the dough is coming together. It's still very shaggy, but we'll add more flour. This is exactly the amount for 2 large khachapuris or 4 small khachapuris. So this is your turn to make the choice whether you want to serve them individually or you want to share with people. You need to put a little bit of sunflower oil on your hands just to make sure nothing is sticking. I'm kneading here just to make sure we'll gather all of the pieces of the dough here. It's still sticky. I might add like 1 more tablespoon, 1 more, just like that. But it's better to have softer dough because you can always add the flour later than to have a tough dough, because it's hard to incorporate any water back into it. At this stage we have this dough, and I will knead it like maybe 20-30 more seconds just to make it slightly smoother, but we don't have to knead it hard, just because it will rest, it will double in size, and it will be nice and ready to go. What I will do is I will cover it with sunflower oil and put it into a Ziploc to make sure it's not forming a hard crust on top. It will take about 1.5 hours to fully proof, and we need to see doubling in size. Depending on your room temperature, it might take less time or more time, so keep an eye on it. This is it. This is your homework, and after 2 hours, you will be ready to make and shape your khachapuri.